Hey everybody, it's Ken again with Xmods Gaming. This time shooting a video on replacing the power connector. Let me see if I can get that in shot. So I already took the power connector that was right here. So the reason why I'm replacing this is, you know, it's missing the little nub for the, it's kind of like a slider. It's kind of a bad design if you ask me, but I just took this off with some hot air, and hopefully I can swap, because I took these battery terminals off. These are new battery terminals, and probably fixable, but for some reason, after a while, it didn't happen right away, but after a while, the B button wasn't working. So I have a, oh yeah, it's not this board, but this is the board I'm going to use. So I'm going to swap it over from the green Game Boy. This is currently a black one that I had. So just some context so you guys know what's going on. And go ahead and subscribe, because I really do this for free as far as the videos go. So I'm not making any money. And this is something that, like 3 years ago, I tried to step up my production and get kind of monetized, so I have some extra income during the winter months especially. But I try to step up production throughout the whole year, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, probably because I do the same videos or the same topics or something. So I don't know, maybe I'm not like arrogant enough or something. Charismatic. I don't have charisma. Try not to be jaded, but so Tri-Wing, like I said before on my other videos, get the Hyper Tough, yeah, electronic repair kit is what they call it at Walmart. So if you live in the United States, yeah, you can actually get Tri-Wing screwdrivers nowadays, which is kind of cool. I figured I'd have to mention that just in case my last two videos no one has got the memo. And yeah, you have 2 here and then 4 right here that are Tri-Wing. So it's the only time you really have to use the special screwdriver tip. If you live in a town or something that does not have a Walmart close by, then go on eBay or Amazon, which is kind of contradicting what I'm just telling you. So right here's the power strip that, or power switch that I'm trying to harvest. So right here I have a screen modification, and let's see if I can get that on camera. It's not really focusing, and I'm like bumping my microphone, but so yeah, just a tip, you know, just put a sticky note or something on over your lens, that way you don't scratch it while you're working on it. And you know what, with this Game Boy, I had it in a in this bag over here, but for years, and I have not gone out and you know, purchased a new one. Or God, I'm not thinking today, but haven't gone out and looked at it and, you know, got the screws. The screws that were with it is what I'm trying to say. The tri-wing and all that. I don't even know where I put those. So yeah, if you store stuff, I'd recommend storing everything together. Because yeah, I mean, to find screws that are that length and all that. And if I didn't break that power switch, I would have used this board for sure, because it has the LED light on it, and this one doesn't. So the screen I have, and I actually modified the case, so I was using that board, and then I broke the power switch, so I had to go back to this board. But the difference is what you're going to need is a hot air rework station. Helps. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what Phillips I need. Oh, that's a tri-wing. This one's too skinny. Okay, I've got a Phillips 1 and a Phillips 2. Try a Phillips 1. I think it was Phillips 1 last time. Seems like that will do it. Oh, and this is that was a tri-wing 0, I think. Thing about massive screwdriver kits like that, you have to like try to put your bits back. Also, I thought I broke the screen, the LCD, because I put it in, and it had like, oh no, I might put that new one in, because I had to like solder, because I had like a really, for the power for this new screen, I soldered, I had to scrape it back and solder a new wire that was thinner gauge. And then I thought I broke the whole entire screen, probably because I pried it up and all that. So I bought another screen. So I don't hit, you know, I might just use that new screen, because yeah, this ribbon cable's compromised now. And it wasn't cheap. It was like $42, which, you know, this time of year is not really cheap. But this screen, and it started working, like it didn't have, had kind of like ghosting in it. But anyways, the thing about Game Boys, I always have bad luck with them. Don't know why. And hopefully I could pull this off a second time. Now I just gotta find my scissors. Okay, where did I put my scissors? Okay, I got junk everywhere. they're on the floor, that's why. Setting stuff on the floor. So yeah, what you want to do is get some Kapton tape. I just buy this stuff off of Amazon. I think it was 12 bucks for like 3 rolls, you know. And it's kind of like what my roommate was saying. He's like, why are you giving away this information, you know? And I actually ordered another power switch from Amazon, because you can get them for like pretty cheap, like $3 to $5 for an aftermarket power switch. But the damn thing never showed up, so, you know, as it sits now, besides like stuff like tape and, you know, hot air rework stations and stuff like that, you know, you can count on that kind of stuff to show up. But like third-party sellers, I think, you know, this is like the second time that Amazon's fucked me over. And when you call Amazon, they just refer you back to these third-party sellers. So I don't know what the fuck they're thinking anyway. It's kind of bullshit if you ask me. Because, like, if I go through eBay and I fuck somebody over, then eBay makes me refund the money. Like, I don't purposely fuck people over, but you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of like a double standard. And whatever, you know. I'm not really in a bad mood. I'm just... It's like one of those things. It's like, what am I supposed to do? So what I'm doing here is just putting some flux on. And then I have my hot air rework station set to 630. So with the other one, I didn't really give a shit about that switch, that power switch. So, you know, I was just trying to get it off. So I'm gonna try not to melt this one. So hopefully that's a thing. So maybe I'll put some Kapton tape. Maybe I'll cut it right to the exact size. I'm basically trying to protect the power knob. In hindsight. And then, just like I did on this one, on the ribbon, the zero insertion connector or ZIF connector for the screen, I put 2 layers of Kapton tape on there, going this way and then one going that way. So really, with my hot air rework station, I'm going to concentrate the nozzle around this. And then go ahead and comment below if you're sick of Amazon fucking you over. Like they fucked me over. Like, anyone from Amazon, I hope someone from Amazon watches this shit, because, you know, maybe they'll get a clue. All right, I'm moving a bunch of crap around. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this mat out. That way, even though this mat's heat resistant, this mat kind of came with the hot air workstation. I'm gonna see if that's even in frame. Okay, yeah, that's in frame. So I have my hot air. For some reason, mine's in Fahrenheit, so I think it's like 330 Celsius, but 630 Fahrenheit. And then you want to move the nozzle back and forth like this, and then you want your tweezers. So you're just trying to melt the solder, not the connector. Boom, like that. And then let it cool. And then you want to get your classic Q-tip and rubbing alcohol. And then what I'm doing is I'm just getting this flux off, just basically so it doesn't gum up the works. And then I have some of this WD-40 contact cleaner. It says for sensitive electronic parts, leaves no residue. What I don't like about this stuff is it doesn't really I say a lot in my videos. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is it is not really good for like ribbon connectors or anything that is adhesive. If it's like stuck together with adhesive, you don't want to use the WD-40 stuff. If you're, let's say cleaning like this ribbon right there, it'll probably delaminate it. So it is kind of harsh. That's just my perspective, really. And I'm hoping this one's not too much different. All right, so what you want to do, let's see if I can zoom up on that. It's about as far as my camera can go. All right. I know. I need a better camera. So I'm just gonna tack this in there like that. And for those that say, hey, you're not using any solder, blah, 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 there's solder, there's plenty enough there on the pad to tack it in. Now, see if I have any of my spendy stuff. I don't want to go look for it, so I'm just going to use this leaded solder. And I don't know if they use lead-free or leaded with the Game Boy Pocket. No, you pretty much don't have to use any more flux. It's kind of a trend I see on the internet with people who don't know how to solder. They're like, oh, you gotta put flux. Most solder has some kind of rosin core flux in it. Yeah, leaded solder looks like 63% tin, 37% lead, and oh, it doesn't tell me if it has flux in it, but in the core of the solder, there's usually enough flux to get done. And flux is a deoxidizer. Man, I can't really talk, but instead of sounding like a idiot, yeah, it's a deoxidizer. So when you apply the solder, it takes away that oxidation layer with the flux, so it adheres to the metal better. So yeah, I'm just using my contact cleaner again and just kind of gently move this back and forth. Because I think that's what happened to the other one, is like I messed up on the power switch and it broke off. So now that we got the power slider switch swapped over, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll probably grab the new screen and all that, might as well, and I'll just get that installed, and then I'll just show you guys this working, because I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to be. But if you're interested in how to install a screen like this, refer to my first video and give that a watch, and then also watch the videos about the clean power. So I'm gonna have to swap that over because I don't have another one. I'll give that a watch, because if you're interested in putting in a new screen, then according to Retro 6, you need to upgrade your power regulator. So you'll keep the same power regulator, you just have to upgrade it with that. So I have a couple of videos on that, so there's two different types of installs that you can do. All right, so I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got the clean power. Well, I'm not even in the camera. So I got the clean power mounted back on. I got the power switch on. I put some Kapton tape for the power board. I'm doing this one a little bit different because I didn't like the pressure of layering wherever I did the layering the tape over. And yeah, this is the touchscreen one. So I'll try the newer screen because you can only have one Game Boy if you only have one switch, so. But I really didn't order it that long ago. One of my nozzles for my solder gun, desolder gun, got lost. So because of a third-party seller, it's just a scam. They never sent it. So be careful with Amazon as far as parts go. See, this showed up way before the Switch showed up, and I ordered this from AliExpress. So I also hopefully it's not. I changed the capacitors out just because I'm already in here, so I'm trying to just do this all in one shot. And that's something you want to do with the Game Boy Pocket or any Game Boy, is you want to go in less than more. And I think I've said that before on my other videos. All right. So this one is kind of going to be a little tutorial on how to do the screen install, but watch my other video, the full one on it. All right, so what I try to do is elevate it a little bit, just so. All right, let's get sometimes these crappy orange wires will fall off. This one hasn't. I wonder if I nicked that with my iron at one point. Could be hot air got to it, but looks okay. Jeez. And it could just be these Game Boys. The pockets are more fiddly than the actual OG Game Boy. All right, so man, this one really doesn't want to go down. Okay, there we go. Looks to be in there all the way. Try to push it in there a little bit more. Yeah, with the ZIF connector, you want to take these two white, you want to push them in at the same time, because it's like this whole mechanism slides in these two little white parts. And then you want to make sure your power switch is sitting flush in there, because a mistake that a lot of people do is when you put the Game Boy Pocket back together, or any Game Boy for that matter, and you don't have this sitting flush and it's like slightly above it or whatnot, then it'll just snap right off. So like I said before, it's like a bad design. So I got all the membranes in for the buttons. So what you want to do is get your Phillips and put those in. And it's kind of like before. You know, it's just rinse and repeat like my other videos about taking apart the Game Boy and putting it back together. Well, especially the Pocket. The Pocket just happens to be like my favorite Game Boy. Just because it does have a clearer screen, like unmodified. It's instead of like the green and all that, it's the black and gray, more of a watch display. But yeah, they call it a dot matrix screen. It's a type of LCD screen it is. And that's going all the way back to the original Game Boy. It's just newer LCD technology. So when this thing was released in, I think it came out in 96, this board says 97. So it might actually, yeah, I'd have to go back and research that, but sometime in 96 and 97. But yeah, the LCD screens were kind of old technology when it came to the black and white, as people call them, or black and gray. And this kit did come with a, that might be a glass one. Yeah, it's heavy. I don't know if I have a glass one on there already, but so yeah, here's the old screen where I had the black tape on there. And then here's some like adhesive that it comes with, but I always suggest leaving the wax paper on and just putting this, so you'll see that in my other video. That way, in case you you know, your screen messes up. This one actually, like I said, ended up working fine. It had like a bleeding to it, but it must have settled or something, because like a week later, after when I already ordered this thing, I turned it on and it wasn't having a problem. So I might reuse that screen again and then just sell it to somebody, which seems kind of shady to do, but I'm pretty confident as long as they don't take it apart, it would work fine, you know. All right, so what I'll do is add a little bit of flux, and that's the part it broke last time on me, because I had a heavier gauge wire. So this is more like a I don't know, like 25 AUG wire. I probably recommend between 25 or 30. And obviously more malleable the wire is, less stress it's going to put on it. So a smaller gauge is definitely going to help out. And then you want to use the tweezers. And you guys probably seen me do this a bunch of times. And that's just going to provide 5 volts of power. So, and that's the whole reason why you want the clean power, is to run the brightness of the screen. Okay, so I have our power switch in. It slides back and forth. I have the buttons in. I have some screws in. And what I'm going to do, just to shorten this video up, plus this one has the LED light too, which is kind of nice. It kind of gives you a good indication if you have power. And this is the part that I'm kind of talking about right here. You don't want this to bind up. So you want to make sure that's flush with the casing is flush with the power switch. And then put the game in. And then I'm going to pop the AA batteries in. And these are alkaline, even though they're dollar store batteries. And there you go. Almost had it on already. Let's see if the brightness works. No, okay, so the contrast, sorry, looks like the contrast doesn't work. Oh, this is a different type of display. It has a menu on it, unlike my other one. So that means my capacitor job worked. Screen is flickering. That might be a different issue. So, But anyways, this about the power switch. So we got that resolved. So just a quick technique, just use your hot air rework station, heat it up, use your Kapton tape. That hot air rework station is probably like $45 to $50 off of Amazon. So you don't really need much. You know, you can go to Harbor Freight and get yourself some leaded solder, or just about anywhere, Ace Hardware, or you can also order that off of Amazon. And I think that clean power board is like $15. So anyways, at least I got it up and running, and there's probably some quirks I'm gonna have to resolve with Ken with Xmods Gaming. If you want to have something similar like this done with your Game Boy, I'll give it the white glove service and not put my greasy fingers, actually glove up, do a professional job for you, and get that taken care of. Just go to my website, fill out the form, and then I use Cash App for payment, and you pay for shipping and I pay for shipping back. So until next time.